time.
So recently I got a new party crasher and it's got all the right rolls, man. I have rangefinder on it, aggressive ballistics, reinforced barrel, and replenish. And I don't know if any of you like replenish, but me myself, man, I love replenish. I think replenish is one of the best perks to have in a shotty, especially in situations when you can't get that special box. Now with that being said, it got me using my party crasher a bit, and I find myself using my party crasher more than my Matador 64. But I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison of the two if we had to sit there and decide which one is actually the best shotgun.
I'm here for you and I won't stop giving so much. It's not enough, it's not enough. No, I won't stop giving love. It's not enough, it's not enough. No, I won't stop.
Okay guys, so this is going to be kind of a long video, man. We're going to go over all the different numbers on what supports my case, man. And so that's the issue there. A lot of people are partial to one of these weapons, and I don't want to state which one I believe is the better weapon without giving you all the evidence that I can possibly give you. Now before we get started, let's hit our featured subscriber. Hey, it's that kid. I should be featured because I use my trusty SlenderSlay X45 without high caliber, with my sniper, with my fusion, with everything. There's just something about that gun that feels so smooth and crisp. I gotta tell you, man, if you got the SlenderSlay X45, I think it dropped yesterday with the rolls of counterbalance, small bore, and perfect balance. So I don't know if any of y'all got that package actually sitting on you, but definitely go turn that in. Shout out to you, Hey, it's that kid, man. He's also a YouTuber. Feel free to check him out sometimes, guys. Man, I love to see these small creators, man, really supporting my channel. It's only right for me to show the same love back to them. With that being said, let's talk about these two deadly ass shotguns. Alright, so I'm going to show a couple of screenshots and show you where we're testing this out. Of course, as always, we test this out on SkyShock to really just show the map capabilities. At 8 meters is pretty much the range that a shotgun can consistently map at. That's with rangefinder, all the bells and whistles, aggressive ballistics, and things like that. With that being said, though, let's talk about damage overall. So Party Crasher, man, I was sitting there rocking at about 519s and 520s. Those are the individual pellets themselves. That's the only way I know how to really compare these kind of things, guys, is I have to break it down by a pellet by pellet basis. Now, that was over a number of different tests, but I was landing somewhere between 195 damage and 198 damage. With that being said, that's pretty good. That means you can essentially kill anyone, potentially now, 8 meters that are 8 armor or less. 8 armor or less. Now, let's talk about Matador. This is a screenshot from Matador. I was hitting 620s, 121, 122, which is not something I'm going to really consider because that was based on a crit with that pellet and 2 19s. So essentially, I landed anywhere between 198 and 202 damage if we wanted to count in that little bit of crit damage. With that being said, the type of guardian that you can kill with that is anyone 10 armor or less. 10 armor, that means your max sunbreakers, your max for non-ram voidwalkers and hunters. That's pretty much everyone except for max defenders, ram sunsingers, stormcallers, and max striker titans, ram voidwalkers. That's pretty much it. Not many people are running around rocking 11 armor or more. If you're rocking 11 armor or more, you're intentionally doing that, and you know that will hurt you too, especially if you don't have good recovery. With that being said, though, that is the reason why Matador has been so deadly in the Crucible, is because it has those mapping capabilities. In situations where you're primed up even in the slightest, that damage, yes, there is damage follow-up, but that's when you really start to get maps by Matador because it does so much devastation. It's got such high impact and does so much damage. Now you see the numbers, you see the facts, but let's talk about personal preference and why I think so many people like Party Crasher more than Matador, and why you should probably stay with your Party Crasher. I feel like if you're very used to the handling of Party Crasher, man, don't jump ship from that. You know, if you feel extremely comfortable with what Party Crasher has to offer, and you've done extremely well in the past with Party Crasher, by all means, stay up on Party Crasher. Just know, though, Matador does have more damage output. The biggest thing about Matador, though, is it is unforgiving. You've essentially got a weapon there that can map the dog shit out of people. But, of course, it's got a very, very slow rate of fire. So if you miss that shot, you're pretty much ass fucked in that situation, unless you can hit up with the melee. I think that's another thing that really makes Stormcaller so deadly, is that, you know, you can hit that melee up from the same range as you could hit with a shotty shot, and even with the little bit of inaccuracy and you only land half your pellets with your shotty shot, well, you can easily finish them off with a melee. And so that's always been the frustration of going against a Stormcaller that can do the shoddy melee instantaneously. You know, that's always been something that I myself have been extremely frustrated about. With that being said, though, Party Crasher is one of those weapons that, even with the same loadouts that you would have on Matador 64 to potentially make it that deadly one-hit weapon on 8 armor guardians or 10 armor guardians or less, is the thing that really brings Matador down. You know, you drop aim assist to 35 once you throw in aggressive ballistics, and you know, on top of that, you've got a weapon there by default was only at 50 aim assist. You know, Party Crasher has default aim assist of 70. Even once you throw on aggressive ballistics and everything, it's still sitting there at 55, which is still 5 higher than what Matador's got on default. And I know some of you are saying, what's the point of aim assist? I get it, man. I know aim assist is not something that's just mainly needed on a shotgun. But in a game of Destiny, in a 10-tick rate game, I can guarantee you this: that fucking aim assist doesn't hurt a damn thing, okay? In those situations where that guy's lagging all over the place, anything and everything can fucking help you out. Now, me personally, I like both of them, and it really comes down to, I don't know, what you would use in certain situations. I like Party Crasher for things in 6s. The rate of fire allows me to pretty much munch through multitude of enemies at a time, and it's a good consistent rate. Matador 64 is a little too bazooka for me for 6s. You know, I like Matador 64 a bunch in trials and more elimination playstyles where you need that weapon to clutch that one-hit kill from whatever range you're trying to kill somebody at. And so that's fine with me. But in terms of like I said, in terms of 6s, though, I felt much better with my Party Crasher. And I've always felt that way with Party Crasher. I always felt like chaining those kills was much easier with a Party Crasher. And you know, I've got friends that still, even now, even with their God roll Matadors, they still use their Party Crasher as well. So if you are out there and you're still using your Party Crasher, even now, here in the Matador meta, man, you're not alone. Trust me, and you're not doing anything wrong. Party Crasher is still a damn good gun, and one that me, myself, and a multitude of other players I know that are great players in this game still use. Well, guys, thank y'all very much for coming and watching this video, and as always, slap that like button like your mama told you right.